you please on the camera. It's okay. Yeah, live. Welcome, Bhagyalakshmi Ma here on this platform and with us to have a chat with on the topic what are energy. Before that, I would like to introduce you. Always the one to choose the untrodden path, Bhagyalakshmi has always been willing to explore possibilities. Her quest for something more that she knew existed led her to explore several modalities of energy healing, all of which have worked beautifully for her in their own way. She has been an Access Consciousness certified facilitator since 2013, also a Talk to the Entities facilitator. She has her own consciousness specialty class called The Artless Art of Allowance. Her weekly clearing calls from fried to freed have been a great contribution to many in the last 6 years that has been doing them. People also look forward to Hope, honoring our precious earth, her free call on the first Sunday of every month. As a certified life coach and alternative healer, she is busier now than ever before, conducting workshops, telecalls, and doing personal one on one sessions. In view of the current pandemic, all of her work is done online. She also enjoys being a speaker on various platforms, including international telesummits. Bhagyalakshmi continues to forge a new path for herself with tremendous enthusiasm and an eagerness to learn, grow, and help anyone along the way with a generosity of spirit such as is rarely seen in this world today. And this, with my own experience, I'll say, I have never seen such a generous lady in my life. Thank you, Bhagyalakshmi Ma, for coming here. And
Thank you for having me.
I would also like to ask your dream project. I heard like you are working on some project. So would you like to share or throw some light on that?
Yeah, maybe later.
Okay. And so to start with, what made you join Access Consciousness?
Yeah, it's a
And
good question.
how long have you been in this journey?
In the energy healing field
Yes.
for over 30 years now, studied many different modalities of healing. Because I always had this somewhere a knowing that there must be more to it than what meets the eye. There must be more than what we think we know. So I have to say that all modalities that I have studied have worked for me beautifully, each in their own way, because ultimately the end is the same, the destination is the same. The paths probably are different, but the destination is still the same. And so, somewhere in, yeah, I started my life as a lecturer in English literature. I have 20 years of experience in the academic field. So I was teaching classes since I was 21, which was a long, long time ago. But the quest for something else led me and also my husband and my son to various healing modalities. And you use them, they work. Whatever you use works for you. So, somewhere around 2011, 12, I was listening to a telesummit. I don't even remember who it was. It was either Gary or Dr. Dane. And they mentioned two questions to ask. One was, how does it get any better than this? And the second was, what else is possible? Now, what else is possible is something that I have asked for over 6 decades. All my life, I have only been asking, I wonder what else is possible. So that was a great invitation to explore more. So Vivek and I, my son and I, we were in the first bars class on the 29th of April 2012. And on the 26th of March 2013, I was in Rome for my first certified facilitators class. I was 58 at the time. I didn't even have um, a passport. I was never really interested in traveling much. My home is my world, and I'm happy being here. So I had resigned from my job earlier because of a fall, and I was not able to walk. So I was not entitled to get any pension or anything else. So from the first bars class to getting everything to get to the CF class in 11 months is something that is an answer to, I wonder what else is possible. So 2013 and now it is 2021. I'm still here, still having fun, still enjoying myself, and very grateful to be here.
What an awesome journey you have been.
It has
And
been an incredible
oh,
journey.
yes, how does it get any better? And I totally know, like within 11 months, getting into a CF class is really something amazing.
Mm.
And I totally get it. What else is possible have done wonders with you.
And Priyanka, I must also tell you that I did not borrow, take a loan, or get any money from anybody, including my own family, my husband, my son. It was all my own effort. And in response to the questions, I chose to be.
Um,
It's
Bhagyaman,
fun.
can you talk more on this? Because normally, I've heard people always saying that taxes is like quite expensive, and it's hard for them also to believe that money is an energy. And what we in Access say that ask and you shall receive, and trust the universe for that. Universe has your back. So when you said that you didn't ask a penny from your husband and a son, like it just blew my world. So can you talk little more on that? Because sometimes still, going for a class, and even I sometimes have this point of view, ki, oh, this is expensive class, will this be contributing to me? So I would like you to talk little more on this, Bhagyalakshmi.
Thank you for asking this. This is a really, really good question. Um, the thing is, like you said, ask and thou shalt receive. It's there in the Bible also. But how you ask matters, doesn't it? So many people say, I don't have the money for class. And where is the question there? There isn't any. It's the conclusion and a judgment, right? And then there are some others who say, what can I do? What can I be to have X amount of money to attend this class? I ask them, is there a better way of asking? Can you ask differently? Like, what do you mean? I said, you get money for the class, and then how do you get to the class? Are you going to walk? No. You need to fly. You need to stay in a hotel. You need to eat. So you never ask for just the class amount. You ask, I wonder what it would be like to have more than this amount. What it would be like to have more than what I ever need or require. Because you're not going to a money lender. You're asking the universe. The universe is an abundant universe. The universe doesn't have a point of view about you asking for 100 rupees or 100,000 rupees. For the universe to give it to you, whether it's 100 rupees or 100,000, is effortless. The question really is, are you a matching energy for what you're asking? So you can Take a glass and you go to the ocean. The ocean is a huge body of water, but you'll get only a glass full. Why? Because you've gone there with a glass full. You go with a jug full, you get a jug full. You go with a mug, you get a mug full. You go with a bucket, you get a bucket full. But that doesn't mean the ocean is limited in giving you water. It's the limitation is here as to how big a container are you willing to be. Right, Vite? So the willingness to recognize that when you ask with no point of view, with no attachment, you're just being the energy of the question. And classes used to, and if you know me, I mean, not many people do, but those who know, they know I do a class only when someone asks me for it. And when they do, I never say no. When somebody wants to talk with me, I never say no. I'm there. But I, on my own, don't go and keep nudging people like, come on, come, like that. I would rather be an invitation than a pushing energy into somebody else's universe. So when you ask a question, universe, thank you so much for having my back. How does it get any better than this? I wonder what it would be like for me to be in that class with absolute ease and everything that does not allow me to be that energy, I'm willing to destroy and uncreate it. So I'm always working on myself. So when you look at money, money is an energy. When I look at you, you're an energy too. You're looking at me, I'm an energy too. Everything is energy. So the willingness to be the energy that invites more requires you to be a certain way. And what is that certain way? It's really very simple. What is that way? Does anybody have an answer? Choosing consciousness, the willingness to be present, the willingness to be totally in the moment, which allows you to have awarenesses, which allows you to know where to go, what to do, whom to talk with, or read, or whatever it is. See, it is like this. Since everything is consciousness, including ourselves, you might say that we are swimming in consciousness, most of us unconsciously. There is energy all around, there is consciousness all around and within us. How present are we? How conscious are we? We're not talking about the medical being conscious or unconscious, that I'm being the willingness to be the energy of total consciousness, of total awareness. Because when you tap into that, then you know what to do. You know what to ask. You know what to be. So if you're talking about being the energy of infinite presence, where there is total consciousness, there is no judgment, where words like competition don't even exist, where choices are so many that you have to literally, okay, so which one would I like to choose now? So that kind of presence is what is being conscious all about. We're all born that way, but somewhere along the line, some way down the road, we get so much into our heads that we forget there's something outside it also. So being out of your mind is a good thing. Am I against the mind? Definitely not. I think it has its own function, it has its own importance, it has its own work to do. But if you keep asking your mind questions, your mind will only give you what you have already put in. It's like a storage unit. It will give you back what you have put in. But it will not be able to go beyond that. It will not be able to give you awarenesses and answers to things that have never been put in. So, what must we do then? We step out of our mind into that field of consciousness and awareness that has all the answers. Does it make sense? Smriti, does it answer your question?
Yes, Ma, totally. Like
Okay.
every word of you, I don't know why I'm not able to speak. I'm feeling like every word of yours is piercing me, and like my being is into tears, like listening to you.
I hope these are tears of joy. I would not want to make anyone cry.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. It is just connecting with each other on a very different level. Here, there is no judgment. I don't know how to do judgment. I never have. It's not just after access. When you're the energy of total allowance, there is no room for judgment, only allowance.
Uh,
Which is why I have my specialty class called the Artless Art of Allowance. They say, no, but allowance is so difficult. I say, it's very simple.
that's was like my again the next question, that allowance for me also is very difficult, because we being in access, we continuously keep reminding ourselves, okay, be in allowance, but somewhere I feel that even our barriers are up many many times. So how can we be in that non-judgmental mode, being in total allowance every moment and every time, is my next question to you, Bhagyama.
Yes. So can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, please.
So if you are in judgment, if your barriers are up, are you really being in allowance?
No.
The moment there is judgment of any kind, it could be about ourselves, it could be about something or someone else. The moment judgment steps in, consciousness steps out, allowance steps out, barriers go up because you have to protect yourself against other people's judgments. You can by building a barrier like the Great Wall of China. But how do you protect yourself from your own judgment? And my next question would be like, who likes to be judged? Is there anybody? I love being judged. Is there anybody? I don't think you like being judged. Kushi likes being judged. And you like being judged for what reason? Because Gary says if you receive judgment with no point of view, $5,000 more in your bank account that year. Is that why? Most people I know don't like being judged. It's not nice being judged. It's not always correct also to judge, to be judged. Why is it right when you do it to yourself? When somebody else judges us, we don't like it, but we judge ourselves all the time. How come? Is that right? Is that okay? So it's like this. For any of this to work, what I have been talking in the last few minutes, for any of these tools to work, there is one thing that is really, 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 really important. And that, to me, is the foundation of pretty much everything in our lives. And what is that? The relationship I have with myself. The relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for everything else in your life and everything else in my life as well. So I often tell people who are willing to listen to me that you are an invitation to the world as to how it should treat you. It will treat you exactly the way you treat yourself. So the willingness to be the energy of kindness and caring and gentleness, which we would appreciate from outside, is something we need to give to ourselves first. And when you are kind to yourself, when you love yourself, when you're nurturing yourself, would there be any room for judgment then? That. So imagine people wanting to build a multi-storied building. They want the best relationships, they want the best things money can buy, they want the best homes, cars, you name it. But that building has no foundation because their relationship with themselves is questionable, to say the least. So every time somebody judges himself or herself, they shrink. The energies shrink. They might tell you, oh, but I expanded myself in the morning. Well, the moment you go into some distractor implant, you're no longer that big. You're as small as this. And from place this small, what can you create? Only this big. So the willingness to recognize that when we treat ourselves with a level of generosity that we expect from others, it will come naturally to us. Why? Because we are being that. So yes, sometimes the choices that we make may not turn out to be the best choices because they were not made from a place of total presence and consciousness. So we just say, oh, that wasn't quite the way I hoped it would turn out. Okay, so what else is possible? What else can I choose now? That was then. But if you drag your past into the present moment, judging yourself, criticizing yourself, upset with yourself, angry with yourself, frustrated with yourself, you're going to turn this present moment into the past. It's the same thing. The present moment is where we are most powerful because in the present moment, we get to create our futures. We are laying the seed, we are sowing the seed for a greater possibility. You don't do that from a lesser possibility of what happened yesterday, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I don't know if it makes sense, but I hope it does. Yeah. So, on a daily basis, we have to be willing to be greater than what we were yesterday. Kinder, gentler, more caring than any other time in the past. And like Priyanka was also asking me some time ago, what drew me to Access? The tagline of Access is probably what was the biggest invitation for me to be a part of this body of work. What does it say? Empowering people to know that they know. It's an incredible tagline. So in the first few years that we were in Access, I'm talking 2012, 2013 and all that, there were no like Facebook lives, Facebook, WhatsApp, nothing like that. And when you went to the class and somebody asked the facilitator a question, no matter who the facilitator, no matter which part of the world that facilitator was coming from, the response was always the same. Do you know what that response was? If somebody asked a question, the facilitator would turn around and say, "What do you know?" तो कुछ लोग चिढ़ जाते थे, कहते थे हमको अगर सब पता होता तो इतने 1,000 रुपए डाल के हम यहाँ क्यों आते? I never felt like that. I would say, wow, what is it that I know that I think I don't? So those were the questions. When you ask and something shows up, you realize the value of being in the question. And over a period of time, by asking questions all the time, you become the energy of the question. Like, do you know, a couple of times Smriti said, this is what I was going to ask you next. This is what you said. This is what following the energy is all about. So, what else? Is it going to be like a monologue? Am I going to be the only person talking, or is there going to be a dialogue? I prefer conversations.
Yeah. I think Nidhi have a question. Nidhi, can you ask your question?
I can't see anything, so you'll have to tell me what it is.
Yeah. Nidhi,
Bhagya ma'am, may I acknowledge something meanwhile? Hi, I'm
Sure. I
Gitu.
mean, Priyanka
Yeah.
and Smriti are the bosses. We'll do whatever they tell us.
Yeah, if they, yeah. May I, Priyanka, just for a few seconds?
yeah.
We all were just spellbound. I guess most of us will agree. So you were going on and on and on, and it was like I'm already on a meditative state, and I was just listening to you.
I
So
will not
thank
go
you
on
so
and on and on.
much. No,
I
in
will go
terms
off
of
and on.
no. And for me, it's a privilege to be on the call. I've heard so much about you from all my mentors in Access, and it's really nice to listen to you. So I have a question here. Meanwhile, if is Nidhi asking?
You go ahead. Then I'll ask.
Okay, I'll just ask this. So, Bhagya ma'am, I always feel that fine now being in Access for almost 2 years, that money is around, but I still feel that there is dearth in terms of actualizing money in my life. So, is there anything that you can suggest? The question is, what will it take for me to choose to have it in abundance?
Okay. I
Thank
just,
you.
I
Thank
think
you.
I already answered that question, but I will, I will route it differently now.
Okay.
So whatever it is that you just said, I've been in Access for 2 years, but there is still a dearth of money. I want you to look at me and to say it 3 times.
Okay.
There is a dearth of money. There is a dearth of money, and whatever else you said. Can you say
Okay.
that?
Sure. There is a dearth of money, and I want it to actualize in my life. There is a dearth of money in my life, and I want it to actualize in my life. There is a dearth of money, and I want to actualize it in my life.
Where is the question?
What will it take for me to choose? Something is what is coming to me.
And how many of you on the call felt that, oh, poor thing, it's so bad, really true, she doesn't have. And did any of you feel like that?
No, I have. I
That's
definitely
exactly my
have.
point. When you express gratitude for what you have, you get to be grateful for more. You have more to be grateful for. So this is how I would go about it, Geeta.
Yeah.
Thank you, universe, for the abundance that I already have. I am so grateful that you have my back. How does it get any better than this? I wonder what
Wow.
else is possible. What energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, mysteries, miracles, and possibilities can I now choose to be? To invite into my life ever increasing amounts of money from expected and unexpected sources now and in the future. And everything that doesn't allow me to be that, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. You tell me how this sounds, other
This
than the
sounds
thought of
like
money.
extra. This sounds out of the world, and this sounds that this is already abundance is there. If this
Absolutely.
this is true, yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, the universe does not have a point of view about how much you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a vibrational match to what you're asking, because the energy of the desire is here. Like, I want abundance, much more than I have, but I'm asking for it from here. There's not enough. There is a dearth of money. There is not enough. I want more. You can either want more or you can have more. Does it make sense, dearest?
Yes.
It's like this. Let me give you an example. Now, suppose a wealthy person is throwing a party, not now in these pandemic times, we're talking before that, or maybe after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of big cars are there outside his house in the evening. And everyone who's getting out of those big cars has something, either fruits or dry fruits, or wherever it is, like champagne, or probably, flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Does the man need any of them? No, he has enough and more to get all of that. But he
Yeah.
is functioning from the energy of I have. And so he gets to have more. Now you see a beggar on a street corner. He's disheveled. He looks like he hasn't had a bath in many days. His eyes are sunken, hollow cheek, looking sick and ill and hungry, and he's rattling few coins in his hand. Ma, he does.
Mm-hmm.
How many people who see him actually give him money? Not many. Why? I want. I don't have, I want. That's only going to create more want. So when I'm in total gratitude for what I have, the energy of gratitude is a very high vibration, about 540 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
And that energy is the same frequency of joy. So when you are happy and joyful and in a state of gratitude, you're in the right frequency to invite more joy, more abundance into your lives.
Beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
asking that question. I really appreciate you for doing that.
Thank you so much. I
You're
keep
most
doing
welcome.
this, but as you just said in the earlier explanation कि हम करते हैं लेकिन हम वापस किसी और frequency में आ जाते हैं.
हम्म।
So
वो
I hear
वापस
you.
जो है स्क्वायर वन में आने में कोई समय नहीं लगता हमको.
Exactly.
Just one angry thought, one frustrated thought, one judgmental criticism of self, and we shrink back to this place. ये frequency से हम वो नहीं achieve ना कर सकते हैं. So how come even in these pandemic times there are some people who are making a whole lot more money? Because their energies are there. They realize that no matter what is going on, I choose to be this. It's a choice that each one of us has. So, like some time ago, I put on my timeline, like Hamlet asked in Shakespeare's, to be or not to be is the question. Now, this is not the relevant question, to be or not to be. How to be is more importantly the question.
Yes.
How to be conscious, be present, be grateful, be happy. What's there to be happy about? There's so much pandemic going on. Well, I'm alive. I'm in reasonably good health. I'm with my family. And I'm breathing on my own.
Yes.
Isn't that enough and more to be grateful for?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Thank you
it
so
is
much.
never
Thank you
about
so
it
much.
is never about what you do first.
Mhm.
It's always about who you are being first, right? So whoever discovered the English alphabet, I always say, must have been a really clever person. Like, why? Because there are 26 letters of the English alphabet, and they come in a certain order,
Order.
but we never use them in that order. यहाँ वहाँ से letters लेके हम शब्द बनाते हैं, right? So how come B comes first, and then D, and then H? So I say you can have whatever you want as long as you do what is required, but in order to do that, you must be it first. So who we be, what we choose to be, matters, isn't it?
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
receiving.
so much.
Thank you for
Thank you.
asking. Nidhi, the Nidhi who had a question, I think.
Yeah, so Nidhi have asked, like she has the habit of remembering dates and then feeling good or bad memories attached to that dates. So how can this contribute to her, or how can she go ahead with this?
Um, now, did I get it right? She remembers dates,
Yeah, and the memories
good and bad
attached.
dates.
Yeah. No, the memories, dates, and then वो जो होता है ना, इस date में इस समय ये हो गया था, and then she
हाँ,
gets into the
वही
memory.
पूछ रहे हैं कि अच्छा हुआ जो और सिर्फ बुरा हुआ जो. Which one?
Both. She's saying both.
Okay. I wish I could see her. I love to see people because when I see them, I get a lot of information. But वो पर्दे के पीछे रहा तो फिर सोचना पड़ता है, देखना पड़ता है. हाँ, thank you
Yes.
all for showing up. I am so grateful. Maybe I should have asked this like a half an hour ago.
So true.
Okay. Nidhi, is that you who asked that question? Okay.
Nidhi, you're muted. Can you just unmute?
Yeah, but she said yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
lip
Okay.
read her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, while
Bhagya ma'am, I just want to say hi to you.
hi Amrita, is that you who
Hi.
wanted to say hi?
Yes.
Nice
Yes.
to see you.
Yeah.
Nice to see all of
Same
you.
here. Same here.
I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful these two ladies invited me to spend time with all of you. I am so grateful. Thank you. So, coming back to your question, why do we want to remember the good days? Why, Nidhi, do you want to remember the dates of good things? And what about the not so good things?
Ma'am, I don't remember. It's
Okay.
automatic. Like
Yeah.
all the dates, full year.
Hmm.
If anything can happen to in any date,
Hmm.
it's there.
Okay, so you tell me what happened on the 6th of October, 1954. I was
I was
born
not-
on that day.
6th October, I got admission in my medical college.
See now, isn't that amazing? Okay, so this is a really interesting question. I love your question. Why? Because when we remember the good things, we want more of that. पता है वैसा हुआ था जब तुमने मेरे को वो दिया था, कितना अच्छा लगा था. उसके बाद तो एक भी बार दिया नहीं. So never mind. So that's a good thing. The unpleasant memories are often those that are like reference points in our heads. कि वो जो हुआ था ना, I don't want something like that ever again. इस जन्म में भी नहीं, अगले जन्मों में भी मेरे को वो नहीं चाहिए. पर जब हम वो कहते हमको वो नहीं चाहिए, what are we thinking about? That only. I don't want to think about that, but what am I thinking about? That. So when we realize, when we really get it, Nidhi, that what value is remembering these dates to me, that takes me back into the past where I have no wish to go, not for the bad ones and not for the good ones. Why? because the good ones are something I am going to exceed, over, and outcreate. That good is no longer a benchmark for how much I can get, because what I aspire for is greater. And the not so good ones never made me happy anyway. Why would I want to remember them? So let's do this. All the reference points and objectives for remembering the past or marinating in the past and getting pickled, shall we destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes.
And everything that doesn't allow you to do that, any resistance that there may be to letting go, would you be willing to let that go as well?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No, you want to keep one small itsy bitsy bit? We can. Do you want to?
No.
Let's wipe the slate clean, Nidhi.
Yes.
Because what we want to draw on it has nothing from the past. Because the future is full of infinite possibilities. The only thing is you got to sit and choose, like, what would I like? What would I like to have? Who would I like to be? What will this little fellow learn from me by seeing me? They will not learn from what you tell them. They will learn from what you do. What energy, space, and consciousness of total presence, total gratitude, and a total willingness to receive can I now choose to be? To generate, create, and institute my future in ways that are even better than I could possibly imagine. And everything that doesn't allow that, pock and pot. Does it help, sweetie?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking. So, one last question. Nidhi,
So there is couple asking how to be interesting point of view always.
one second. I'm talking to Nidhi still.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Nidhi,
Yes.
if somebody said, go into the past, you remember to that 6th October when I got admission to medical college, are you going to go there? I'll give you 10,000 bucks, they will say. Will you still? No way. That's not where I'm headed. That's not where I choose to go anymore. It is where it is. The best place for the past. You know where it is, Nidhi? In the past.
In the past.
Let it be there.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma. Somebody had a question.
Yeah, so he's asking how to be an interesting point of view always.
Yeah. Interesting point of view is the energy of allowance. When you say interesting point of view, it just is something that is an interesting point of view. It doesn't have any emotional charge around that. Sometimes people say, somebody has said something, they're so angry, and they're saying, interesting point of view. You have this point of view. She has this point of view. They have this point of view. With so much charge around it, that is actually not an interesting point of view energy at all. Interesting point of view is where you recognize that what somebody is saying is what they believe, what they think, what they feel, what they are coming to conclusions about. That you need not be the effect of somebody else's point of view. Now, if you give it significance and you make it important, then it's difficult for you to be interesting point of view. Okay? But suppose it's just something that they have said, which you don't have, oh, this is right, that is wrong, that is bad, this is whatever. You don't have a point of view about it. Then you can be that energy of allowance. That is their choice. Interesting point of view. They have this point of view. But is it doing anything to me? No. I'm unaffected by that because I don't choose to buy into that. That is what being the energy of interesting point of view. Now, sometimes people might say something about themselves, which is also not very kind. So I can say, interesting point of view. I have this point of view. I had this point of view. It was my point of view, but it's no longer. So, allowance is where you have the ability to be the energy of interesting point of view. But that interesting point of view also has a foundation on which to sit on. Do you know what they are? How many people have done foundation class here?
Ma'am,
Yeah, Nidhi. So, what are the 5 elements of intimacy? Who knows? Yes.
Trust,
Gratitude,
honor,
compassion,
vulnerability, gratitude,
compassion,
Allowance,
honesty,
honesty,
vulnerability,
Honor, trust, vulnerability, gratitude, and allowance.
and allowance.
ठीक? Now, in order to have that kind of a relationship with someone else, we must first have that with ourselves. The 5 elements of intimacy with yourself will allow you to have that level of allowance with someone else. So, when you choose to be the energy of true honoring, when you truly honor yourself, you have a very high regard for yourself, you respect yourself. Can you judge yourself? No. When you have total implicit trust in who you are, can you judge yourself? No. When you have a presence that doesn't require any protection, you stand tall in your own conscious beingness. Will you feel threatened by anybody? Will you be a threat to anybody? No. Will you need protection? If you are as big as the universe, you think you need protection? No. And when you have that level of honor, trust, and vulnerability with yourself, how grateful will you be for yourself? And if you have honor, trust, vulnerability, and gratitude for yourself, can you be the energy of allowance? Of course you can. And when you are all these 5 elements of intimacy with yourself, if somebody says something, to know that that's just their perspective. जैसा मान लो मैंने यहाँ पे 6 लिखा है, आप बोलोगे कि वो 9 है, हम कहेंगे नहीं 6 है. No, it's 9, you say. I said, no, it is 6. You come here and I go there, then we'll say, you'll say 6 and I'll say 9. You know, it's just a matter of perspective. So when we get all worked up over somebody else's statement or what they have said or what they have done, उनको तो उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, उन्होंने बोल दिया और वो चले भी गए. अगली बार आप बोलोगे उनको कि आपने ऐसा जब बोला तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा. लेकिन ऐसा मैंने बोला, मैंने अब कब ऐसा बोला? मैंने तो ऐसा बोला ही नहीं. मुझे तो याद ही नहीं कि मैंने ऐसा कुछ बोला है. मैं ऐसे कैसे मैं तुमको, I don't think I would ever say anything like that to you. Are you sure it was me? That is gone. But the anger that it created in you, because you had so many points of view about what the person said, is going to mess up with your liver, which is the wood element in your body, and anger is like fire. Interesting, right? So the willingness to recognize that जो भी जो बोले करे, वो उनके ऊपर है. What I do with it, what I choose to do with it is my choice. Does it make sense? I hope it does.
Yes, very much.
So was that satisfactory an answer to whoever it is that asked the question?
Yes, I mean, yes,
Thank you for asking.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking.
So, as Bhagyama, we know that how amazing capacities you have with Mother Earth and how your energy pulls are like mind blowing. So, when we were promoting this, a lot of people were asking us that can Bhagyama can do little or 5 to 6 minutes energy pull for us. So, is it okay for you?
Absolutely. Only
Yeah,
5 to 10 minutes you want? I can go longer.
yeah, as long as you
It's
can.
like this,
Yes,
okay?
yes, totally, as long as you can.
It's very interesting that you should ask me this. But being the mother energy comes very naturally to me. And there's a secret behind this actually.
If you can
If
share
you
that,
want, I will tell you.
yes.
I remember being 8 years old and my father saying to me, "You're like my mother." So being mother comes very naturally to me. I've been that for a long, long time. So I have the privilege of having given birth to one wonderful, amazing son. But I have countless people all over the world who call me Ma, including Dr. Dane here. So when in the classes he says Mama, and people look like, who, what? It happened in my CF class, the last day of the CF class 2013 in Rome. My friend Sudha and I and Neela, we had kept our seats in the first row because Europeans are so tall. You see, we sit behind them, we can't see anything. So we had kept our seats, and then somebody came, moved our things. And so instead of talking to anybody, Sudha and I, we went and sat on the windowsill. All I remember saying, like, how does it get any better than this? And we sat there. But Neela's seat was still there. So somebody during the class asked her, "Where's your mom?" So she said, "What?" Then she realized I was the only gray haired Indian woman there. So it must be me. So she said she's sitting at the back. This lady gets up, comes out from the front, comes back, and she tells me, "I want you to come and sit in my chair in front." I said, "Why would you want that? I'm perfectly all right sitting on the windowsill." She said, "No, I insist." So I went and sat there. She sat on the carpet near me. And at the end of the class, Gary said, "Does anybody have any feedback to give?" I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "You probably know this, but I will tell you, access tools work." Gary, I just said, "How does it get any better than this?" And this is what happened. This person came and asked me to sit in her chair in front. And of course, she thought I was Neela's mother, but then I'm used to being mom. Okay. So Dr. Dane got up from the podium. He says, "You know what, Bhagyalakshmi? I would be proud to be your son." And he came down and he gave me a hug. And Dr. Susanna Mittermeier posted it on Facebook and it went viral. So the energy to be a nurturing energy is at the center of each and every being, each and every one of us. It comes from a place of unconditional love. And it comes from a place of oneness, where there is no distancing self from anybody or anything. And so the same elements that create the earth, the 5 elements that make the earth, are the same elements that are there in us also. So we are not apart from the earth, we are a part of the earth. And so in my hope calls, hope at the beginning, many years ago when we started it, Vivek and I, my son and I, we used to call it healing our precious earth. Then we realized the earth doesn't require us to heal her. You know, she can take care of herself. If we get out of the way, she'll be fine. So instead of healing our precious earth, HOPE, we started calling it honoring our precious earth. And so every Sunday, the first Sunday of every month, we get together and we work on ourselves and we clear all our own energies that need to be cleared. Because when you are happy, that's what you're contributing to the earth. If you're angry, that's what you're contributing to the earth. Does it need anger, fear, worry, anxiety anymore? There's enough and more of it. So by working on ourselves, we become the energy of infinite loving gratitude, which then we are able to contribute to the earth, because it's always a simultaneity of gifting and receiving that happens. So hope is all about us being the best versions of ourselves, so that what we give to the earth will be a contribution to her. So that is what we do. So if you have water, please drink some water. If you don't have some water, please get it, and I'll wait for you. You let me know when I can start, and I will start.
We can start, Bhagyama.
Okay. Sit as comfortably as you can. You don't have to sit in any particular asana, just relaxed. If you feel you want to lie down, you're welcome to do that also. Make sure you're not driving or using some heavy machinery or even a knife, which is like heavy machinery only. You have to be careful with it. And whenever you can, gently close your eyes. Put your attention on your breath. Your breath is your best friend. So as you breathe in, imagine that all the loving energy that there is in nature is going into you, cleansing, healing, strengthening, energizing every cell in your body. And there are trillions and trillions of cells. And as you breathe out, that's your gratitude going out and helping the trees and plants and greenery around you. So with every breath, you give and you receive. You receive and you give. And when you're connected to your breath, you realize what a huge contribution it is to you and to the greenery around you. So when every breath is a conscious breath, a lot happens other than just oxygen going in and carbon dioxide going out. And when you put your attention on your breath, even if you have to say, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, your mind relaxes. The constant chatter that goes on becomes still and quiet, because the mind can think of only one thing at a time. And now it is preoccupied with your breath. A few breaths, you become more relaxed. And as you put your attention on your breath becomes deeper. More and more oxygen goes in, so that every one of those trillions of cells, even in the extremities like the head, the feet, they get the much required oxygen. This is one of the easiest, simplest ways to get to a place of consciousness, true consciousness, where you are totally present. And imagine, therefore, that as you breathe in and as you breathe out, you are not just being just a single human being. You become a conduit between heaven and earth. Imagine liquid white light with all the pure life force energy, the energy of infinite possibilities from all over the universe are going in through the top of your head and flooding your entire system with pure life force energy that clears all unwanted thoughts, feelings, and emotions, that clears all unwanted memories, that clears all stagnant energies, that clears all energies of discomfort and pain and stuck energy wherever it may be. And as it clears those energies, they go out through your feet into the ground where Mother Earth receives those energies as only a loving mother would. Not only does she receive it, but the moment it touches the ground, it gets transmuted into pure life force energy. It's not the energy we dumped. It's the energy she took from us and changed it. And imagine that energy now that went through your feet, going down deeper and deeper, connecting with different levels of the earth, connecting with the gold there is, the crystals there are, the metals there are, and those treasures that you buried many lifetimes ago, till you get to the center of the earth. There is a force, there is an energy of pure potency that is at the center of the earth. And imagine that being gifted to you by Mother Earth. Why? Because she loves you. Why? Because you matter. And you come up with that gift and bring the energy back up through your feet, and it floods your entire system and goes out through the crown and falls all around you in a cascade of pure, potent energy that has the capacity to cleanse, heal, repair, and also strengthen and energize your auric field. Now, inside out, you're the energy of pure consciousness, pure potency. And from that place of being and acknowledging who you truly are, energetically, you expand. Imagine, visualize whatever works for you, that you are as big as the room in which you are sitting, as big as the house or flat to which the room belongs, as big as the layout in which that building is, as big as the city in which that layout is, beyond the city, going beyond the state, beyond the country, beyond the subcontinent, beyond all continents, beyond the planet, beyond the solar system, beyond this galaxy, and still continuing to expand further and further, beyond all known and unknown solar systems and galaxies in the universe, to the outer edges and beyond. And this is the truth of who you are. In our scriptures, it is called Aham Brahmasmi. I am the creator, and you are the creator of your universe. And at this point of time, you are connected to source energy, From this space of being, you become a part of the realm of infinite possibilities, where everything becomes possible. There is nothing impossible anymore. And from this place of being infinite, choose how you would like your future to be. Choose what you would like to include in that future. Choose what that choice will contribute to the world. Choose how the world would be if everyone chose to function from this level of presence and consciousness. Imagine how life on earth would be if everyone chose to be this level of presence and consciousness. And recognize that this is a choice that is always available to you, because this is the truth of who you are. And every time you judge yourself or someone else, every time you get upset or angry, you shrink to finiteness, and from that finite space, you can only create more of what is finite. So, with the willingness to be this energy, the energy that is all encompassing, the energy that is for all, including yourself, the energy that creates more and more, the energy that is a catalyst for change and possibility in a world that requires change and possibility more than ever before. And knowing what you choose matters, and knowing, maybe for the very first time, how much you really matter, how unique and special you really are, how amazing are your gifts, talents, and abilities, how you are a one-of-a-kind person. You are the energy that is not replicated anywhere in the universe. How special does that make you? How willing are you to be that special? With a willingness to always be that. Not sometimes, not most of the time, but all the time. And seeing yourself for the miracle you truly are, and being that energy from which space you can create only more and more miracles. And with the willingness to choose to create more and more miracles all the time. Whenever you would like to, you may gently open your eyes, please, with a big, big smile. And drink some water. Anyone feeling a little better? I'm so glad. I am so happy. Palak, I cannot hear you, dearest. You are muted now.
I am feeling so relaxed, at ease, and Bhagyama, you got one more child. I am feeling
thank
so
you.
touched. Seriously, it was awesome.
Thank you. Welcome to my world.
So much. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thank you.
I don't know why, but I wasn't I was in tears.
I know I made many people cry today. That ain't a good thing. But if you are happier, that's
Very happy. I'm very happy. Thank you so
So
much.
grateful to you, Bhagyama. Yes,
most
I'm
welcome.
just feeling so blissful,
Yes.
so connected with Madad. So grateful to you.
Thank
Really,
you.
thank
I'm
you so much.
grateful to you too for being here. For
And there
making
is
time
one,
to be here.
yeah, and there is one person here जिसकी मुस्कान आपने double से triple से infinite कर दिया है. It was
हाँ बस
like
वैसे ही रखिए अब उसको.
magical. Yeah,
सब
thank
बोलेंगे
you.
तुम क्यों मुस्कुरा रहे हो? यहाँ मुस्कुराने जैसे क्या हो रहा है आज में? Just smile.
बताएंगे एक माँ मिल गई हैं आज जीवन भर के लिए.
Most welcome.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Bhagyama. Your voice itself is so meditative.
Yes, I was
Thank you
just
so
about
much.
to say. Yes, yes.
I have no clue. I just close my eyes and go on.
No, your voice is very soothing. Your voice is very soothing.
Thank
It's
you.
Yes,
mesmerizing. Seriously.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you too.
Before we leave,
Yes.
is now the time to share about what is your dream project?
Huh. That's a good thing. I
Yeah.
almost forgot about it. So it is like this, all my life, I'm 66 now. That's what the books say. The certificate says on my birth certificate, but I'm mostly 6 years old. I have that sense of wonder, curiosity, and a love of life that you see in very small children. So, so I have really worked very, very hard all my life. But I was always aware of the need to take better care of myself. And वो आज का कल, you know how it is, कल करेंगे वाली बात, कल never comes, right? Because when कल becomes आज, it is आज and not कल. So कल आज और कल करते करते I've reached this point. Like about 2-3 years ago, I realized I cannot put it off any longer. So I started a year-long program called Extreme Self-Care 365. Okay? Which means that every day we learn to take care of ourselves better. Okay? Because when we do take care of ourselves better, then our lives get better as well. So that was my dream project. And then we started much before the pandemic. So when the pandemic came, everybody's immune systems were working much better than at most times, because we'd already been working over these things for more than a year and a half. Now there is one group that has reached 3 years and they refuse to quit. They say, no, Ma, let's just continue the work, which started as Extreme Self-Care 365, still continues. So why is this my dream project? Because it's better to do it earlier rather than later. But it's better to do it later than never. No? Better late than never. So when we begin to honor ourselves, one of the things is to take good care of ourselves, to listen to our bodies. Okay? The person may be wanting to sit and watch Netflix at 12 in the night, but the body needs its sleep. So when we begin to listen to our bodies, because without them we wouldn't be here, right, Ma? It's important to understand how important our bodies are and how complex the human body is and the way it functions. So many systems all working together at the same time. So this is what it is. And I don't care whether you are a part of it or not, but if you can promise me one thing, that starting now, starting this moment, you will look after yourself like you would the most precious thing in your life.
Right.
Because, and I'm not talking about going for a Thai massage or anything like that, okay? Apna hath jagannath karke, you take good care of yourselves, it's like that. It's not about spending money, or it's not about that. It's the willingness to recognize, how it is. People take better care of their glasses than they take care of their eyes. क्योंकि अगर चश्मा टूट गया तो फिर जाके बनाना पड़ेगा, पैसा लगेगा. People take better care of their dentures. Old people, I still have my own teeth, so thank you very much. But people take better care of their dentures than they take care of their teeth. Why? Because कुछ हुआ तो फिर पैसा देके करवाना पड़ेगा. Whatever comes free, like our bodies did, is usually not valued. But then there are so many things that all the money in the world cannot get you back. Your health and well-being. Right? So there are people who have jobs which messes up their entire system, and they make a whole lot of money, which they then spend to get back the health which they lost in trying to make that money. Am I saying money is bad? No. Am I saying making money is bad? No. What I'm saying is take care of yourselves and your bodies in a way that is better. No? Just one example, okay? Everybody brushes teeth. Everybody brushes their teeth twice a day. How many people massage their gums that hold the teeth? Anjali does. That's very nice. Not many people do. ऐसा ऐसे यहाँ घुमाया वैसे वैसे वहाँ घुमाया थूक दिया चले गए हो गया. That's not what I mean. You have to be, when you're brushing your teeth, you're brushing your teeth. I had a chartered accountant once whom I was working with, and she told me, you know what, Bhagyama, all my thinking, my planning for the day and everything happens when I'm having a bath. I said, why? She said, what do you mean, why? I said, no, you're having a bath. Why don't you spend that time when you're applying soap, wherever it is, expressing gratitude for that part of your body for doing what it has been doing for like decades? Thank goodness for that. Why can't we be present when we are having a bath? Have a bath. When you're brushing your teeth, brush your teeth. When you're eating food, just eat food. Chew properly. Then she said, in 1 week, her digestive issues, metabolic issues, her hemorrhoids, everything went. Why? Because she was present and in gratitude to and with her body while she was having a bath. तो जो सब हम जो मैकेनिकली करते हैं ना, जो हमको लगता है बस ये तो नहाना है कर लिया, ये करना है कर दिया. No, it's not like that. When you begin to live with presence, whatever you do, wherever you are, there you be. So people say like, ऐसा तो बहुत मुश्किल है ना. तो हम कहते हैं नहीं, बहुत सरल है. How do you do that? Your bodies know how to do that. Wherever you are, there you are. The body is, wherever it is, there it is. It's the mind that wanders. Get it back. Because when you're eating your food, no matter where you bought it from, or where you got the vegetables, whatever you got from, it came through them, but from the earth. So everything that you do, the water that you drink, the air that you breathe, the food that you eat, gives you an opportunity to connect with the earth. Without the earth, we wouldn't be here. So what level of gratitude must we have for it? So I finished my sermon for the day. I thank you so much for inviting me here. I have had a blast. I have had so much fun spending time with all of you. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, Bhagyama.
Yes.
How can we connect to you in that?
People here
Right
are
now,
asking how can we connect to that 365 days group?
Yeah. Right now, there are 3 groups going and it's full, but it will be posted on my timeline. I hope you're my friend on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll make you today only.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Please do.
Fatima, you will
Yeah,
be a friend request today on FB.
Yes. Thank you, both of you.
No, it is whether you choose to join that or not. It is my request to you. It's a very humble request. Treat yourself well. Treat yourselves with kindness. Your body doesn't ask for it. Whether you treat it kindly or unkindly, it still works for you. But when you are kind to it, it works even better. Who doesn't work better when they're appreciated? You tell me. I have no clue what the chat is, Priyanka, Smriti.
Mm.
If you can just send
Padma
it to
here is
me.
asking your phone number and email ID. She doesn't use Facebook.
Okay. Uh, will you give it to her, Priyanka?
Yeah, I will. I will do that.
And no matter what is going on outside, be in that space within yourself that is so conscious, so present, that the world outside changes because of you. It's possible. We all came here for that only, didn't we? And I wish you the very best, each one of you. And may whatever it is that you desire show up even before you ask for it. Normally they say, ask and thou shalt receive. I pray that it comes to you even before you ask for it. Thank you so much. Many blessings.
Thank you so much
So welcome.
for being on this call. And my whole body, the being, each and every molecule is in total gratitude of you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you too.
Thank you.
For you people to make time to spend it with me, that's an honor and a privilege for me as well. Thank you so much. All of you.
Thank you.
Super.
So
Thank you.
grateful to you, Bhagyama. So
Priyanka,
grateful.
can you
Thank you
send me
so
the
much.
chat also, sweetie? I have not seen anything. So send it to me if you can. Can you? Okay.
Actually, the chats here can be sent. Smriti, you know better.
I'll try to copy it and send it to you, Bhagyama.
Yeah, because I've been so busy spending time with.
You
I've
can
not
save
seen
it
the
in a
messages.
document. The host can save it in a document and the document can be emailed. Zoom gives that option. Yeah. Thank you.
Take good care
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
all the very best. And thank you so
Bye.
much for inviting me to be a part of your show. I'm
Thank
grateful.
you for coming.
Very
Thank you, Bhagyama.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
all.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye.